All right, so let me show you inside of Shopify and Ads Manager real quick. Now, my promise to you is this. If you implement these strategies for your brand, you will grow. I'll share with you the exact steps and screen share along the way. Now, real quickly, like I said, let's go over to Ads Manager. $350,000 for the month of September. Obviously, recording this in the month of October, but this is the last full month, $349,950. Over here in Ads Manager, just to show you real quickly, $2,000 a day is what we're spending currently. 2,300 purchases, reached about 353,000 people. Meta is saying a 4.4 on return on ad spend. Actually a little bit different, maybe a little bit higher, maybe a little bit lower. We'll talk about the specifics, but just to kind of show you guys what's actually happening in here. And as I mentioned, we will jump into all of the specifics here, and no, this doesn't have to take you years to get to. This brand in particular started with zero, and unlike many other people who are touting on the internet, they do not have hundreds of thousands of followers and then just basically run ads to the people who already follow them. No, this is a brand that has less than 2,000 followers. This is actually how they grew their brand. Not just, I have a very large following, I just did a drop, and then I spent money on ads, and then it just did amazing wonders. Okay, so the number one thing that you have to do to hit numbers like this is focus on the website. Okay, so number one is to fix the leaky bucket. That is your website, okay? Number one, the bucket. And what I mean by that is if you send people to your site, like no matter how many people you send to that site, let's say you sent all 300,000 people who saw your ad to your site, if the website does not work, it will not generate sales. So this particular brand, like I mentioned, we're at a 1.98 conversion rate. It's in a little bit of a tougher month, but we're usually averaging 2%, which I'm more than fine with because the majority of these people are finding out about us for the first time. Let's pull up the website and I will share with you guys some things that are doing really well or what's working well and a couple of things to actually improve it. One of the things that I want to make sure that you do, and no matter if you are a streetwear brand or a boutique, it doesn't matter. These are all the same type of concepts. You need to have these things. Now, hero image should be clickable, okay? I like a strong call to action, but your hero image should all be clickable. I like to always make sure that you have this stuff down at the bottom, your search, your about policy, FAQs, all that stuff, your story, because most people are going to go here for the actual purchase. What I love about the site and what they do really well is that all of their main items that they want to click into are actually up at the top here, and then you can just go and make a purchase. So for example, I can go to trending and then I get to the actual page that I want to go to. Some people say new arrivals and then I got to click in here and then see trending and then I make another click. Okay, so that's number one. The second thing is product descriptions. Very, very important. Okay, so what is the product description? How tall is the model? What is the actual fit on this model? Like say, what size are they actually wearing? So this is body length is 24, bust 38. Like, so this all describes the actual product in detail, which is great. And they have multiple products. We want to have front, back, detailed shot, and every single one of theirs, just a simple spot here is the actual size chart. So huge shout out to them for being smart with the size chart. Again, it's one of the main reasons that people don't buy. They don't think that it's going to fit them, and it's not clear on who this is actually for. So a size chart. Now, what could they do to make this better? I would like a video. Them modeling it and actually moving and talking about the product, much better. Some people would like to see a video. Now, image is fine, but for the most part, a video is going to do a little bit better. I would like to have a lifestyle photo. This does well just as a product photo, and it's got a good like textured background, so it's nice. It's kind of like a white background, maybe a little bit better. That's what's cool about theirs, or what's good about theirs, is that it is very easy to see the products. However, if you could just add a video, do a lot more, or a lifestyle photo. So I want either one of them. I don't know the exact statistics, so don't quote me on this, but basically most people only choose 3 photos for their products. And if you choose more than 6, you have a much higher chance. I think it's like 30% higher chance that somebody actually converts, because it gives another chance for somebody to make an actual purchase because they see the product or the angle that they would like to have seen. Okay, so one of the things that I would also fix on the site, or maybe update as well, is adding a different add to cart. So I had these products added to cart. I'll get rid of one of them. I have the pay now and like the free returns. Okay, it's $198, which is awesome. It's a nice little upsell. 44, it's got upsell options here, but they don't really give you a say like, hey, add this to your cart. People may also like this. So it's good, not great as an upsell tool. So just a couple of things there, just to make the site a little bit better. Now, is this rocking at a really good percentage? Yeah, absolutely. But can we get better? 100%. High converting website. So you need to ensure that your website is optimized for conversions, okay? A couple of things outside of that is focusing on clean and intuitive design. There's not anything special on this site. You don't have to do like a spinning wheel. You don't need to do all of these other things. Like very clean, very simple to understand design. And also, if you're looking at this on mobile, so let's shrink this down here. It's also very simple on mobile. Not a bunch of things hitting you in the face. You got the 10% off pop-up if you haven't joined them yet. So there's that one thing that's getting you. But for the most part, a great, clean mobile experience. So many brands focus so much on like collecting all these other things that are on the site that don't actually matter, that I would say it hurts their mobile experience. Responsiveness, okay, and speed are a huge play here. The site needs to be very mobile friendly, which means it also needs to be quick. A good site to test is GT Metrics. It's free and it will tell you the actual speed of your site and tell you some things that you can do to improve that. You also have to have clear call to actions, right? It's very simple here, right? I want them to add to cart, and then as soon as I add to cart, I have this option to go and make an actual checkout. Checkout is all the same for pretty much all Shopify brands, but I love the checkout that they have here as well. A couple of tools I would add instead or replace with, okay, so either Vitals, which is like a suite of options for apps where you can do multiple different things, whether you wanted reviews or upsells, downsells. If you wanted something more specific, Monster Upsell. We used to suggest one-click upsell, but I believe that their fees are just too much. And Monster Upsell and Vitals can both do something very similar, so that's an option. Or a software like Joofy, which is kind of like Gorgeous, but on like a higher version. You can train it yourself. It's like your customer service concierge person, 24/7, just focused on the actual product. So Joofy is another option that I would use for this brand as well, and one that we have suggested. And in all transparency, they are things that we have suggested for the brand. We are just implementing piece by piece, because as you start to scale, and once you guys find out a little bit more about the story, you'll understand where we're at. But as you're starting to scale, this brand literally went from $7,000 a month, right? We're literally just starting out after a year in business, $7,000 a month, and now we're doing $350. So a lot of other things to take care of other than the little minor details like this. But for you guys to go to that next level, things are needing to be implemented as well. Now, one other thing that really helps close the deal, a great return policy and amazing offer. You saw it on the checkout here. They have an amazing return policy if you pay $1.98 to protect it. Pay $1.98 and we're more than happy to basically cover our costs and say, look, we'll take the L, if you will, on the return policy if you just pay the $1.98. So everybody feels good. They'll pay $2 knowing they have the free peace of mind. They have a great return policy outside of that regardless. But now with this offer, with this return policy, you have no real downside. One other thing I would say as well is that this brand does not do discounts, but they always have an amazing offer on either shipping, which is a big deterrent for a lot of people on how much they have to pay for shipping, or they have the sale tab so they can cater to almost everyone, okay? So it's like a separate part of the actual store. Step 2 is simple, okay? So that's the website. Step 2 is simple, but most people mess it up because they try to do too much. Now I'm gonna share with you step by step what you can do to make your traffic scalable, because it is an extremely important part. Without the, right, so you need the website, but without the actual traffic, it doesn't make any sense. Before we get into that though, I just wanted to say a quick hey, howdy, and hello. I'm Aaron, one of the co-founders here at Bit Branding, and alongside my business partner, Christian, we specialize in helping clothing brand owners just like you, whether you're a brand or a boutique, private label, it doesn't matter. In the last 12 months alone, we've helped over 250 clothing brands grow and scale online. Now, I would appreciate it if you have found any value in this video so far. Just give us a nice little like and subscribe. We create new content for you guys every single week. And also, if you do this in the next 3 seconds, I will share with you my favorite store as a kid from the 90s. Okay, so the store is Food for Less. It's a grocery store, and hear me out real quickly, and then you can move on. It was just a fun place for my sisters and I to play. There's a lot of different like crevices and like holes in the wall, so you could like get behind the actual store. It was pretty cool. If you don't know what Food for Less is, go check them out. All right, so number 2 is to implement a scalable traffic strategy. And when I'm saying traffic strategies, however you want to look at it, but you basically need 2 things, okay? Both paid and organic. So number 2, we need traffic. More importantly, we need paid and organic. Most people believe that you can do well with just paid. Some people believe that you can do well with just organic. I would say both of those people are actually wrong. I used to be on both sides of it. And the real answer is that you need both. One complements the other, builds relationship, gives way to the other one to actually scale. Start small. Test campaigns, so identify winning creatives, audiences, and once you have validated the performers, right, the ones that are doing well, you gradually scale that ad spend. We're going to get into that here in a second. I'm going to show you guys the inside of Ads Manager. But you got to continuously analyze ROAS, right, and return on ad spend. Now, it doesn't matter completely on return on ad spend. It does, but not as much as people actually believe. So if I'm profitable at a 1.3, will I take a 2? Yes. Would people on the internet think that it's amazing that we're getting a 2? I don't know, maybe not. But what happens is we're trying to grow a brand here. I'm not really focused on, sweet, I got a 4x return off of a $400 ad spend. Well, good. Now you've made, after everything, you made $300. I'll take a 2x return on a $100,000 ad spend because I know how big the actual number actually is, and that's going to pay for so many other areas of the business to grow. So will I take a 4x to make less money or a 2x and make way more money? Definitely the 2x. Now you got to be profitable. Hear me out here. You got to be profitable. But you got 2 traffic strategies kind of working at the same time, right? So simultaneously build organic reach through a couple of things. So let's hit on that first because it's kind of the playground, it's the sandbox, if you will. So social media content, you gotta be consistent. You have to create engaging content on the platforms like Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. I honestly, like, so many brands don't spend enough time on YouTube as they probably should. It is a huge search engine platform. And whether you're just talking about the newest arrival or the newest fashion trends, it's great traffic. And what we do know is that people on YouTube typically have more money than somebody on TikTok. Most people on TikTok actually do not have any money. And when I say that, it's like a much lower annual household income than somebody who's on YouTube. So people who watch YouTube make more money, probably a good idea for you to be there. The real game player, if you're gonna choose one, is Instagram, hands down. Are you reaching less people than what you normally would have been a couple years ago? Absolutely. But are they people with money, and are they your ideal customers? Yes. Leverage storytelling and behind the scenes looks, right? I've actually shown what's going on with the brand. You can use influencers, you can have UGC, you can partner with people like, I would say, influencers and ambassadors, be affiliate marketing, which means whenever they sell something for you, they get a percentage or a commission from your actual brand. Now, let's break this down real quickly, okay? And then I want to jump into SEO, which we don't talk a lot on this channel. And honestly, it's not the sexy piece, but it's the piece that you can use to stand out for your brand, and I'll show you how to do that as well. So within this, I would say, traffic strategies, couple things, right? I want you to post. Instagram tells you, not me, Instagram tells you they want more than 10 reels a month. That's what Instagram says. I would tell you to do more than that. I would actually tell you, hey, look, how do we, right, at the bare minimum, how do we do 90 reels? The reason why is because most people do less than 8 reels per month. Instagram wants you to do 10. If you do 90, and you can use something like this to find some leverage, I find that most of the time the reasons that people don't create new content is because they aren't inspired, or they think that it takes too much time, or they just don't know what kind of content to create. So that's why I created this document, or this board. It's a 4-play board, and this is just content that I have been saving that you can use for yourself. Some of it's very simple, like this right here, very simple. Right? It says you need a scarf, right? Very simple, something that you could actually do. If you want this, just comment the word 4-play down below. I'll send it over to you guys. Right now it is free. That may change in the future as we add more value, but right now it's completely free. So just comment word 4-play down below. But lots of examples of things that you could do. Cool. Cool, stand out. So anyway, if you want this, just comment the word 4-play down below. I'm happy to send it to you. I want you to create reels just like this to engage with your audience, to reach new people. How do you reach a new audience? You do it through reels, okay? Now, what's the next way? You want to nurture a relationship. That's why I want you to have 3 to 7 stories. You got to have 3 to 7 stories per day. So here's a screen share actually of a brand that I think does really well with stories. It's actually not the brand that hit 350K. I'll show you them right now. They're not getting the most amount of likes. Again, I told you on Instagram, they're posting a lot. I think they have like 5,000 followers. So we'll pull that up here in a second. But talking to camera, putting your face there, right? This is a great way to actually showcase who you are, and then you can put in some graphics, right? Talking about what's going on, sharing the reels. But they're doing actually more than what I would suggest. I suggest 3 to 7 stories per day. This builds a relationship. This is nurturing. And then I've said this a lot, right? DMs are where the sales happen. Think about this very quickly as kind of like an upside down triangle. They find you because of the reels, or you're gonna do the 90. You do the stories that nurtures them, and then DMs is where the sales happen, or the website, either one. But DMs are where the actual sales happen. People find out, oh, where did you get that? Right? You'd be so surprised at the amount of people who see the reels. They're like, I love that outfit. Where'd you get it? And then they DM, right? So they don't even message on the actual post, but they just DM you. Now, a couple of quick things on Instagram real quickly that I have learned here recently. Number one, respond back to every comment. You should do that, obviously, but what you should not do is like every comment. As soon as it comes through, because you're gonna be doing 90 reels a month, you're obviously gonna do multiple throughout the day. So what you're gonna do is everybody who comments, you comment back to them, but do not like it. And then right before you're getting ready to post the next reel, like it. They will get a notification about it, and it encourages or it increases the likelihood that they will come back and actually engage with your second reel. Very, very important. Let's jump into the SEO piece. Most clothing brands do not do anything with this because it's not cool, it's not sexy, nothing. All right, so we are over here on the Pink Lily Boutique, and regardless if it's a streetwear brand or not, this is important. What did they do before? They created a ton of blogs, and they rank for a lot of different things. So January 8th, December 5th, November 28th. So they're doing regular blogs, right? Roughly once per month. And then swim trends for 2024. They actually wrote all of these things out. Not really the greatest, honestly, but it was more than what everybody else did. Ask yourself right now, do I have a blog on my site? Is blogging dead? No, blogs are not dead. However, what is happening, right, is less people are going there, but Google still uses them. This will eventually change. This will move into like AIO or like artificial intelligent optimization. However, right now, still very, very important. You got to do what's called the Skyscraper Technique, okay? So I'm going to go a little bit farther here into this and put SEO, okay? We're going to call this the Skyscraper Technique. So what would you do if you were needing to rank for something? You would take the thing that is searching for, let's just say, winter clothing trends 2024. Let's go here, marieclaire.com, okay? They are actually selling things. They wrote a blog about all of these different things, and they rank for them because they're explaining each one of them. Now, this particular site is like saying where should you go buy them, but how could you rank for the fall trends, right? As far as like maybe jeans are in, or certain types of jeans are in, maybe certain types of sweaters are in, maybe it's a certain type of like blazer, doesn't matter. But what you do for the Skyscraper Technique is you find the article that has the top search rankings for it, and you create one that is longer. That's it, right? That's all you have to do is create a version of it that is longer and better. Add your own perspective, your own twist to it, and that's the easiest way for you to start to rank something. And with AI, it's so much easier, okay? And if you guys are interested in this, let me know, but like we could add in prompts that you could do for SEO, but you can use ChatGPT or Gemini or Claude, whatever you would like to start writing, and then you need your imagery for your brand, obviously, to put in here, and you would link back to it on your site. It does not take nearly the same amount of time as what it did previously, and if you do this and put it through your own lens and your own writing technique, you can actually stand out online. You can start to actually drive traffic organically. We've had many of the people in our program, it's called the OSO program for clothing brands trying to hit their first 100K, have many people in this program who have ranked for something because they didn't have the ability to spend money on ads, but they didn't want to create a bunch of content organically. So they're doing a little bit of both of them, and then they spend a lot of time on SEO and actually could rank for tunic dresses or maxi skirts or streetwear or, you know, different types of hats, whatever it may be, and they drove traffic that way. So do not dismiss the SEO piece. It is extremely, extremely powerful. So like all brands, this one ran into a slowdown in the summer of 2023. Let me pull this up for you actually, because I'm going to show you kind of where we were at actually. Okay, we're at $33,000 a month. I got on the call with this brand to talk through some things. So on this call, basically what happened is the term Occam's razor was basically what we talked about when we were on this call, which is that the simplest answer is honestly sometimes the easiest answer, but also the most obvious, and we just need to actually do it. So what was happening? We didn't have a ton of traffic to the site. And if we knew, okay, if we got more people to the site, would we make more money? Well, what's the easiest way for us to drive more traffic to the site? Well, we were already profitable with ads. What if we just spent more money on ads? Like, what if we actually went into it? So I'll show you guys all what that looks like right here and how we actually made more profit by driving more traffic. But first, hold up 1 second. I want to say that if you are a clothing brand owner, boutique, streetwear, it doesn't matter. If you want to jump into the specifics of your brand and how to grow profitably online, just like this brand here, you can schedule a free 45-minute strategy session with us, just jump in the link, the description down below, and we'll see you on the other side. Yes, there are limited spots because yes, it is free. Go take action right now. So here is July of 2023. So we went from 30 to 60,000. Obviously, 100% increase. Let me show you inside of Ads Manager. There is nothing different that we did other than we spent grand total $2,000 in June, and then in July we spent $4,500. We doubled our revenue, or double our ad spend to double, I mean, essentially our traffic, and also to, I think it was our traffic, yeah, 63%. So not exactly double, but then we also did double the actual revenue. It is not always that simple, but sometimes it is. And what we also did was implement a very clean system. And like I said, we'll jump into the ads, but this system is probably one of the most underrated, okay? There's a couple of tools that we're still implementing today, which is why we're gonna take this brand to $1 million per month. And that will be a whole nother video I'll share with you guys as well, and I'll share the insight. But the way to get this brand to that next level by just doubling the ad spend is a couple of other things too. We fixed that other leaky bucket, which is that in a clothing brand, in my opinion, you do not have an actual brand until you get repeat customers, right? The LTV matters the most. Okay, so I'll put this one in views in blue so you guys make sure to remember this one. So LTV is lifetime value. It is the most important number in business outside of profit. Okay, how can you get a second and third person? Now, if we go over here to this, returning customer was actually down, but that is because we doubled the amount of sales that we had here. But we had 41% of the people actually come back and purchase. And that's a sweet spot I want to be in, right? 60% new, 40% returning. 50-60% returning is kind of high, but anyway, depends on if you're in a growth stage or not. How do we do this? Very simple. The kind of the boring side of business, email and SMS. It is an and. You'd be surprised how many people just do email or just do SMS. Like, I make all my money off of SMS. SMS adds revenue. Email adds profit. You need both of them. You need about 1,000 people on your email list, and I'd be sending about 2 to 3 emails per week. SMS, I really want that 400 to 500, and I'd be sending about 1 per week. You can eventually move it to 2 once you get to a couple thousand, okay? Segment based off of 60-day engaged for your email. Same thing for SMS. Depending on how frequently you're sending them, you could actually shorten that window, but 60-day engaged. Set up automated flows, like your welcome series, abandoned cart, recovery, post-purchase, upsell, re-engagement. If you want all of those, it takes on average probably 10 to 15 hours to build these all out. If you want them, we've already built them all for you. We'll add them into your account or share them across for you, at least for Klaviyo if you have that. Just comment the word flows down below. I'm gonna send a link to you so you can add those to your campaign. Save you a nice 10 to 15 hours. Be very nice. A couple of other things that we did as well, build a community. So we created a Facebook community, a Facebook group. You can do it wherever, whether it's Discord, whether it's Slack, doesn't matter. Just need somewhere where you actually can create a community of people. We told them to also get into video by CommentSold, which is a live selling platform. You can add this if you would like. They have not implemented. That's what we will do to get to that $1 million, kind of that next level. And then retention.com. There is a link in the description down below. Proud partners with these guys, have been for a while. This is a no-brainer. We're on average getting a 6x return here. Like if we spend $1, we'll make 6 in return. The cool thing is anybody who goes to the site who doesn't give us their email address, we can still email them. Very, very powerful tool. So go check it out, retention.com. One of the other ones I mentioned earlier is Joofy. Okay, this is a customer service tool. It's a 24/7 AI trained tool for your site. Depending on how much traffic you have for your site, it's actually free. So number 3 here is Joofy. And then the last piece here is referrals, okay? Always incentivize people in the packages that we send and the emails and SMS that we send too. Hey, share with your friends and you will get X, Y, and Z. Always make it a very nice deal for the people who are referring. So if you are, turn everybody into a referral partner. Get 20% off. If you refer a friend, they get 20% off, you'll get 30, right? Just make it a better deal. Get them to come back. I don't care. Lifetime value. Again, what's the most important number? Getting that lifetime value up. If somebody is only worth $50 to you, they're worth $50. But if I can turn it into 500, now I can do some fun stuff. A lot of people overlook this, and especially on our marketing channel, I haven't been talking about it as much, which is you've got to have a great relationship with your manufacturer. Whether it's overseas, whether it's in stateside, always suggest to have a good relationship with your manufacturer because you can get products faster, you can get products at a cheaper cost, and just when you're in a pinch, you need somebody. I know a brand here locally, they're actually an OSO member product of us, and that's how I've met them, but they're a manufacturer and they've been doing it for like 20 plus years in the United States. They're out of Florida. Shout out to the Florida people in the world. And if you are in the print on demand world, or you want to move to a 3PL, or you want to get products actually in hand and hold stock, go check them out. It's called Threadbird. There will be a link in the description down below. You can check them out. Free strategy session. They'll give you all the advice that they have over the last 20 years. So super powerful for that. Let's jump into the actual ads here because I think this is important. It's not anything crazy. If you guys have watched anything on our channel, we'll talk about how you can go get step by step on building the actual ad, but let me just show you the setup here. This is very simple. One campaign running, $2,200 a day as of this time period, which if you guys remember, that was what we spent in 1 month just about 15 months ago. And then 3 ad sets. We don't really touch them, okay? Right now, these are just carousel ads because this is for a boutique. I would do DCT or dynamic creative testing or flexible depending on if you have either one of those and if this was not a boutique. And then the actual ads, that's it. We're carousel updating. Very simple imagery, 3 to 4 or 5 images inside of here. This is technically a DCT or dynamic creative test. You got our long opening, more like introduction to the brand here about who you are. Shorter text as well. So long text, short text, primary text, shipping from Texas with love. And then you got some headlines. Free shipping over $100. You can technically add in another one. And then description, this is a Christian clothing brand, so they added in that as well. There's nothing crazy set up. I'll show you guys the actual numbers behind it. All right, a couple of things I'm looking at. If I don't have purchases, I'm looking at the link click-through rate. So is it above a 1? Okay, these are obviously 13, 7, 9. Very, very good, right? If you're above a 2, solid. Second thing, cost per click. I'm looking for something below $1. Cost per click, pretty low. CPMs, 25 and below. We're good here. Counts, cost per 100 people reach, or 1,000 people reach rather, pretty high. We are hitting people multiple times, and one of the unique things that we're doing here is we are updating the carousel. So even though the frequency says higher, they're actually seeing a bunch of new products, a lot. We're just showing these for a lot of people, and that's what they need to be able to make a purchasing decision. Okay, so now you guys know the strategy behind growing your clothing brand and hitting numbers like this. Like I said, the 350,000. Let's just show the last 90 days too. Almost 7 figures in the last 90 days. You guys can do this too. This was all done from a brand that literally started out at $7,000. Let me show you this real quickly. This is a brand. Now, don't even look at the point of sale, right? Online only. Sorry, $8,000. Started at $8,000. We did $8,000 a day most days of the month, okay? Actually, all days of the month. You guys can do this too, but you gotta know the strategy behind it, which is here. Now that you guys have the strategy for growing the brand online, you have to get into the specifics, kind of the weeds, if you will, of building out profitable Instagram ads. Go watch that video on that right here next. All right, y'all, have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.